Yellowstone visitors fled for their lives last month after an erupting geyser sent a jet of hot water and rock 600 feet into the air. But while geologists dismissed the July 23 Biscuit Bogg eruption as a normal event, the incident has sparked fresh fears about Yellowstone's buried supervolcano emerging from its 600,000-year slumber. Michael Pulland, scientist in charge at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, told DailyMail.com that even parts of the surrounding state would be in bad shape if the park's 43-mile-wide by 28-mile-wide caldera covered the skies with volcanic ash. Ash is heavy, said Pulland, a research geophysicist, and it's going to cause problems for water, agriculture and the power grid. Although an initial eruption of the Yellowstone caldera would kill thousands in a megablast, showering several U.S. states with high-velocity, pyroclastic flows of lava, rock and hot gas, Pulland said the event would not mark the end of humanity. The Yellowstone caldera, which means cooking pot in Spanish, is defined as a supervolcano because of its historic capacity for eruptions that can spew more than 240 cubic miles of volcanic material from its location 7 miles beneath the park's surface. The supervolcano's underground magma chamber, a reservoir of partially melted basaltic rock, last erupted about 630,000 years ago, geologists estimate. Some say the odds of a major Yellowstone eruption in any given year are currently 700,000 to 1. So what would happen if Yellowstone erupted now? Firstly, if the supervolcano were to erupt in a single Big Bang, some estimate it could be equivalent to 875,000 megatons of TNT, million tons. To put that into context, the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated, the Soviet Union's Tsar Bomba, had a yield of 50 megatons. Just a few thousandths of a percent that powerful, but it reportedly shattered windows hundreds of miles away. Thousands of people would die from the pressure wave of a caldera, Big Bang, eruption, and it could cover much of North America in ash up to a foot thick. And areas near the eruption would be devastated by the burning and destructive pyroclastic flows, a volcanic eruption of chunks or bombs of lava, ash and pumice, all propelled by rapidly expanding superheated gas. The U.S. states that are home to Yellowstone and surround the iconic national park, including Montana, Idaho and Wyoming, would be caught in the crosshairs. Ash is very heavy, it's crushed rock. You don't want ash piling up on roofs and stuff, he explained. People have to work hard to mitigate the impact. But Poland added that new evidence suggests that previous Yellowstone supervolcano eruptions were not one big bang, but a series of eruptions. But even in that second scenario, a series of smaller eruptions would still leave an area within 125 miles of Yellowstone devastated, Poland said. There are many examples of small amounts of ash causing buildings to collapse, he said. There's a really amazing photo of an airplane in the Philippines after Mount Pinatubo in 1991. The plane was tilting upwards on the ground, because the ash falling on the back caused it to put weight on the tail, basically. Ash from the series of eruptions would blanket fields, destroy power lines and collapse buildings, with deadly ash rains, leaving rescuers scrambling, the geophysicist said. Areas closer to the eruption would be covered in more than 3 feet of ash, including Salt Lake City, Utah, Boise, Idaho, and Missoula, Montana, he said. The massive cloud of ash and sulfur from the eruption would also lower global temperatures, for years if not decades, which would have an impact on agriculture in the US and around the world. In any eruption of that magnitude, there are going to be climate impacts, Poland said. So you're going to get all these aerosols into the stratosphere, which is going to lower global temperatures temporarily, right? It takes years for that to filter out, he said. Scientists have predicted that a major Yellowstone eruption would have a major economic impact, as rescuers struggle to clean up ash and restore power and water utilities, citing the relatively small 2010 eruption of Eyjafjallajökull in Iceland as evidence.